Well, let's see here. You're a new player. You just got the game. You've unloaded it. First thing you want to do is kind of look at what you see over here, the ARK news. Now, a lot of this won't make sense to you because you're brand new to the game. Even players that's been, let's say over 200 hours, they may not understand what half of this means. The one thing that you might want to call your attention to is trade your blues for summer hues. Celebrate the ARK Summer EVO event now through July 26th. EVO basically means you're going to have a little easier time in harvesting resources, training, taming dinosaurs, and other things that you can do in the game. Now, once you get used to these rates, you're going to be disappointed when the event ends on the 26th. Now, they call this the Summer Bash, and they're going to see more colorful than normal wild dinosaurs, and you're going to have boosted rates on breeding. So breeding is something you might try later, but as a new player, it won't mean a whole lot to you right now. Now, you've also got advertisement for different things that they want you to buy, like expansion packs to the basic game. They also want to advertise ARK 2 multiplayer, and they call it a sandbox, basically meaning that you can do a little bit more in the ARK 2 version than you can in the basic game. And it's going to have, kind of a cartoon look to it. And you may or may not like that. But of course, remember, this is not normal. You usually have to buy this option. And they want you to join Twitter so that they can give you more news than what you see here. And Discord. And I use Discord. I have this one loaded up because it does tell me when different things happen, like these EVO events. Alright, so now you got some choices here. You will want to look at most of these. If you want to do single player, you got to go here. If you want to see how to do things and make changes to the basic game, which I do not recommend as a first time player, or even as one that's got more than, say, 400 hours in the game. The survival guide is basic information that most of it won't mean anything to you at this point if you're a new player. But this is what most people will go to join ARK. Now, as you can see here, I've got official server selected. If you click on this, you've got some other options. But for some reason, these options get screwed up from time to time. So I'm just going to leave it on official servers since that's the default. Now, what I want to recommend is you go up here and you type in BEGIN. And as soon as you hit the enter key, well, even before then, you'll start seeing the beginner servers. And now, it starts with the word beginner. Now, EU means European. So that's not what I want. I want the local servers. But for some reason, North America doesn't seem to have any. If they did, I would not suffer from these high pings, which is really going to mess up the game. Make it hard to play, lots of delay, I'll probably get kicked off the server, just all sorts of things. So what I want to do is I want to come down here, since it seems to be finished, and use this option, refresh. Now, the refresh option, you can use it once usually and it'll work. Try to use it twice, it's not going to work. It's just going to hang up and nothing's going to happen. Now, as long as the word searching is in this block, then you have to wait until it comes back up as refresh. It's not finished searching. Now, this time you notice that I get NA, North America. Since I live in America, not too far from Texas and a little further from Mexico, then this is what I want. I want the North American servers. But unfortunately, the ping is not any better. See what I mean? It's still really, really high. And since both pings are basically the same, it doesn't matter which one I go to. Now, this is the map, the island. This is what they call the first map that everyone gets introduced to. Now, look at this here. Out of 70 players possible, there's already 46 there. So I would prefer to go to this one. I might be able to find a nice building space that past experiences told me is not too bad. I'm going to have to ignore this for now because it's extremely high. But notice that this server has been reset, and it was probably reset, I would suggest about 10 hours ago, and it's maybe even less. It's already day 5. The days in the game pass rather quickly. Now this is something that's a little unusual. Player versus player. Now I don't understand why that mode came up. It might be because I've got all maps. So let's go here and let's say the only maps we're interested in is the first map everyone plays. It's the island. And it's got all modes. Well, your first map should be a PvE map. So we'll click on that and see what happens. It takes away the PvP, player versus player. Now, I do not recommend you starting off with a player versus player map because other players are going to sabotage everything you try to do. Now I'm down to one option. Now I could use a refresh, but chances are it's not going to work. For some reason the game doesn't seem to like doing it twice. It's still searching. So until it comes up and says refresh, it's not done. And it would not be a good idea to try to get in on a map. But you gotta have these presets. This is you versus the environment. So you're basically trying to stay alive against dinosaurs, but not against other players. It's more of a cooperative thing. And of course you wanna know what the ping is, because that'll give you a clue which one is the better option. But as you can see, I've already got some better ping here. The lower the number, the better. Okay, refreshes came up, so we're good to go. So now we have to look over here. See, there's 27 here and 34 there. So of course I'm going to select this one. You click on it with your left mouse button, and then you say join. Now, this is where I close my eyes because I know that this thing is going to flash me like crazy. And I kind of have to keep my eyes closed for quite a while, or highly squinted, or even wear some sort of glasses to prevent it from getting flashed again and doing a little bit of eye damage possible. Alright, this is how all your games start. Now, I normally I want to see my character a little bit easier, so I go for the lightest skin tone I can get. Now of course you have these other options, but I'm thinking, well, I want to be able to see my guy, especially when it gets dark in the game. Now right now he's got basically brown hair. We could go this way with it and he's a little more blonde, or we could go this way with it where he's a little more redheaded, and then it turns white like an old guy. So I usually back it up a little bit until I see a hint of red. Now green eyes are okay, I suppose, but blue seems like a better color to me. Now if you go this way, kind of a reddish color, bright red, yellow, kind of like alien, I don't know. So I'll just go for blue. Let's go right in here. Now I'm not going to mess with any of these because your character can start looking pretty weird. So I'll leave all this around. In the meantime, you've got all this chat box stuff going on. And these are going to be a lot of new players asking questions about how to play. Because for some reason they don't know that they should start by watching YouTube videos on how to play this game. Since the game is not intuitive, there's a lot to learn. And until you do, you cannot seem to make progress very well. Alright, now you need to change your survivor name. You want to leave it on South Zone 1. It's considered easy. See there? You got 3 of them that are considered easy. Now if you click, you can kind of see where the other zones are. All of this is considered easy. Well, when you get over here, it's not so easy. So I would recommend you go here. Now you definitely don't want to go to these other ones that say they're medium, because you're getting close to the swamper areas. And they've got Craig's Island and all these other places where things get a little more difficult. And of course they have areas up in here where it's hard because, well, if you're over in this area north, your avatar is going to freeze to death pretty quick. Because as you see him, that's how he goes into the game. He's got his BBDs on, or swim trucks, whatever you want to call these. Now, you don't want to go into the game like you are. You want to change and give yourself a name. If you go in as human, then everybody's going to know that you don't know what you're doing. I'm going to go ahead and use that same name again. Now we can go into the game. Create new survivor. So if you had one on this map before, it's going to be eliminated. But if you're a new player, this might be your first game. And then of course they blast you with a big bright screen, like they're trying to damage your eyes a little bit every day. And this is pretty commonplace for you to be placed right away. Now once you get the rear view, unless your default is set on the two-hand view, you just rotate your mouse wheel. That's all you gotta do, just rotate your mouse wheel. Now this is PC keyboard and mouse control. Now you're gonna see those birds, you see those 2 birds right there? They're gonna mess with you. So just get used to it. There's not much you can do about it. You got these big dinosaurs. They sometimes will be mean and nasty. It depends if they're a Dilophosaurus or a Brontosaurus. And then you got, see that bird way in the background flying kind of slow? That's the one everybody wants to tame, but it's a very long, drawn out process. In fact, there's one right above my head. Yep. And he's bombing me. Look at that. Boom. And that's one of the weird things of the game. Now you see that slightly reddish dinosaur up there? Avoid those. They are vegetarians. In other words, they eat berries like a lot of the other dinosaurs do. But they hate avatars. And they will kill your avatar right away. You just got to get close enough. Now they're nearsighted. So as long as you keep enough distance, you'll be okay. See there? That player got too close. And he's already under attack. He's going to be dead soon. See there? One big bite, he's dead. Now this other dinosaur that's slightly darker colored is not a problem. That's one of the dinosaurs a lot of players want to tame. And this Triceratops, or called Trike in the game, is another one. But they're a little more difficult to tame because they will attack. If you go up there and you try to knock it out or anything, because you have to knock it out in order to tame it. Now you might try to tame this other one here that's kind of got a bluish tint. Uh-oh, that dinosaur is after us. Because the bluish tint dinosaur will run away. It will not attack back. So you've got to be able to trap that dinosaur so you can knock it out. Now you can punch out a dinosaur if it's trapped and it won't attack back. But your ability to punch out a dinosaur right now is pretty low. Unless of course we're talking a dodo bird. The game, of course, is only considered to be 5 days old. And I think one day is a little over an hour, so you might say the game server got wiped about 5 hours ago or so as an estimate. Now, somewhere up here is a door, but we could jump and see this guy knows what he's doing. And then we could also see that the door is over here. I don't see immediate danger, but it's locked. You can't get in. Now, if you push the E key for a second, you'll get that knocking noise. But there's nobody home. We can kind of tell that by just jumping up there and looking inside. Now, he's an experienced player because he's got a bed there. He doesn't want to get put somewhere randomly by the game. This is a common greeting. You push the C key, and sometimes, I don't know why he did that. He made his character a little bit smaller than usual. This is probably his raft. Now, if I get close enough to him like this, hold down the E key, see there? If I click on this, it's going to give him an invitation to join my tribe. But the catch is, I don't want to do that because I don't know how this character is. Now that might be the guy. Oh, he speaks Spanish. Oh, I would be able to communicate with him anyway. So what you can do is you get close, and you can see if he'll give you an invite. Oh, he messed with his character presets. Oh, and he's an experienced player. He knows how to do things. So, well, this is what he just did. He did the laughing, and I'll do the wave. I'm going to leave my character on level 1 for a while and see if by chance anybody will invite me. Oh, he's killing and collecting meat. Oh, it's not giving me anything except the light the fire option. I better leave that alone. A lot of times these players will go ahead and make it accessible to anyone. Oh, there you go. There's an experienced player. Let's chase him down for a little bit. He just tamed himself a pteranodon, a flyer. He needs a saddle for it so he can ride it. Well, this is not his place, I guess. Sometimes these are unlocked too. No, that one's locked. Now that particular dinosaur is basically harmless. Dang, another one. See that little bump on its head? That's one way you could tell besides their voice. Troden, bad news, bad news. We've got to try to stay out of his eyesight. What they do is they bite you and put you to sleep. And then they come around. Oh, look out, look out. Piranhas. So we better head back this way for a while. Because we're too close to piranhas. Now there's a chance we might get across there. Maybe. There's a better look at those with a little bump on their head. If you tame one, you got to have some pretty good sized eggs. And then get up to it and feed him those eggs. But those eggs have to be in your last HUD display. You see on the bottom? I don't have anything in mind right now. But we'll demonstrate right quick. This is how you start the game. You need to thatch, but you also need wood. Until you have some wood, you can't make your first tool. Oh dear, I still got all this stuff in there. Well, we'll transfer this over to here. That's a chibi. Now, I have the expansion packs, Genesis 2 and all that. And of course, I took a little damage when I punched that driftwood. And the driftwood is easier to harvest the most. Now you can keep all this stuff. It doesn't have a lot of weight to it, but I normally don't. Now we'll back up. And you see, when you come across these bags, that means there's something in it. But see the timer? 5 minutes is all you got. So we press the E key quickly and let go. And then we come over here and we put our cursor on the object, press the T like in Tom key if we want to keep it. Now, right now for me, I don't want to keep any of this stuff. It just clutters up what you see. So what I do is I just transfer the fiber back over and then close it. Now the fiber's not going to do me any good until I can find some... Uh-oh, there's your raptor. That's the #1 killer, and here comes the piranha. That's your #2 killer. And you see how I'm taking damage, and I'm dead. So the game did its normal thing, and it ganged up on me. Now, notice I've got the same zone clicked here, but when you go down here, you have a choice of making a new character, which would basically be a waste of time unless you want to make your avatar look a little weird. So we want to go, but notice what it says, respawn in random location. So you don't know where you're going to end up on the map. Now normally you don't see the entire map like I'm showing you right here. You just see this little area that you explored. Everything else is in darkness. So don't be fooled thinking this is what you're going to see. You're only going to see this little area where I was, and that's going to be opened up to you. Now once you've gone to all these areas by a flyer or big dinosaur or something, then you're going to see all this. It's also going to tell you what the game decided killed you and what level it was. So I basically had no chance at all of surviving either attack. Alright, let's see where the game puts me. It's going to probably be close to the same place, but there's no guarantee. Alright, so did it... Oh, it put me across the pond this time. See, I was over in that area, across the water. Let's get a look. Did this guy get tamed already? Yeah, this one's been tamed already. See the red lettering? Let me move around here a little bit. See that red lettering? It's been tamed. It tells you who and the level of the bird. And you cannot damage it. See that offline damage? Protected, prevented. Okay, so now we're on the other side of the water. So we don't have to try to swim across and deal with all those piranhas. Let's see. Oh, it's still locked? Yeah, it's still locked. And it's still locked. Alright, so anyway, what we want to do is we want to try to find some driftwood. Otherwise, we got to go punch some trees. Now, this particular area is a little safer. Well, there's some driftwood. Oh, still giving us fetch. Come on. Oh, we got some wood. Okay, we could quit. Pick up a rock. Just look down at it. If you look over to the right-hand side, well, it's not showing up very well, is it? There's a blue hand. Maybe if I put it in the... There we go. It shows up a little better. You see that blue hand on the right-hand side above the blinking up arrow? The reason why it's blinking is because, as you can see on the top, level up is available. Excess inventory to apply it. So let's pick up the rock. Now notice that the blue hand went away. That's because there's nothing I could just pick up where I'm standing right now. If I move over here to this rock, the blue hand shows up again. See it over there? Because I could pick up that rock, but we don't need to. Now, since this area is fairly safe, I'm not worried too much about being attacked again, but it's possible. The game is not friendly. Well, there goes a player. He's already been on the server probably from the first hour it was available. And he's got his tamed bird following him. That's probably the same guy we just saw a few minutes ago before we got killed. All right, so now it's time to press the V key like in Victor and see what it does. It shows us that we have everything we need as long as this is highlighted. If it's darkened like that, it will give you no information. And it will do that. It'll darken itself. The game is kind of buggy that way. So we want to make one of these tools. That's our first weapon. It's also our first harvesting tool. So put your cursor on there, right click, and then, we don't want to make 3, we just want to make 1. And then left click with your mouse. Now, if we click over here on inventory, because notice there's nothing down here yet, it'll tell us, we just picked up a whole bunch of junk again. All right, we'll keep our chibi, and we'll put it in here. Now we've got a little non-combat pet. See it down here? All right, now I'm just going to hold down the shift key and use the X key. And that's going to be its name, because I expect to die a lot. And each time I do, I'll lose my chibi. Okay, so we'll click here, and that'll drop everything like before. We'll back up a little bit, and there it is. Now we can move around until we can get back in there. We want to keep the wood. We want to keep the thatch. Well, all right. I'll go ahead and keep the stone for now. But all this other stuff, oops, we got to keep our tool. So put your cursor on it and press your T like a Tom key right quick. Now, if you want to wear a mask, once you get a helmet, or you want to wear one of these other options like the hats and stuff, then you would keep those too. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. It's a skin, and I'm going to keep the cowboy hat. So I'll do the same thing again, transfer it over with the T key. The rest of it, well, if you want to run around looking like you're naked, then you would want to use these 2 options. Well, all right, we'll do it. Now, is there anything else that would be valuable to us? If we make some spears, then this one would work. I'm not sure about this, but it seems like if you're throwing the spears, it makes them a slightly bit better. So we'll keep that too. Now, it's not Christmas time, it's not December, so it doesn't make any sense to keep that. It's going to be a while before I try to tame one of those to give it its skeleton Halloween costume. Same thing would be true there. The pit helmet, it's okay, but I kind of like the cowboy hat better. The dunce hat, oh, I don't think so. Now I do like this one. It's kind of like a Indian, but it's all brown. I don't know. It doesn't. If it had feathers, white feathers and stuff, I might keep it. Your first dinosaur, you might want to give it these dirty glasses. I don't know if it actually helps it see better or not. I doubt it. Well, this is for your avatar, actually. This is your dinosaur pair. This is kind of cool, but it's going to be a while before we'll want this for a flare gun so that it shoots more than one color. This is, I don't know if we'll ever get to that. Not on this server, anyway. Again, Christmas time. It kind of is a nice option, I suppose, but... And then, of course, another skeleton costume if you have a carno dinosaur, which are meat eaters and very difficult to tame, so, especially at our low level. So we'll leave that alone. All right, so that's it. That's what we've got in our inventory. Now, the rest of it, if anyone wants it, can come get it. Now, I'm going to do something that's a little bit different. I'm going to... Well, this really isn't that different, but notice our little pet. Well, that's because of this thing. Now, there's those pesky birds again. As long as you got this here, you're going to have that pet. If I take it out, put it back in inventory, no pet. See there? Now, at first, you might want to not use it, because we're not going to be killing any raptors. That's how you power that thing up for higher levels. And we haven't even got to level 44, which is what the cap is on a beginner server. Now, I don't have any meat. I don't even have any berries, so that bird attacking me is just going to do damage. Now, let's see. That's the wall. He hasn't got around to replacing these yet with wood. So where's the... Oh, there's the door. And it's locked. And you see that it says thatch door locked. It tells you how many hit points it's got left out of the 1,000 possible. It tells you who the owner is. And it looks like it's got 2 owners. Huh. Maybe he's got a tribe started already with 2 people in it. And then you got demolish in, well, let's start at the right and work our way to the left. 30 seconds, 18 minutes, 23 hours, and 3 days. So if this player doesn't come back before that runs out, then either the game will auto-decay it or another player could come in and demolish it. Alright, since that bird is messing with me, let's press the I like an inventory key. See there? It did a little bit of damage. And I'm still at level 1. I haven't used any of my available points to bring up my level. Now, you wouldn't do that unless you're ready to make some changes here. But notice I'm getting hungry and I'm getting a little thirsty. The way I play the game when I first come in, I'm going to be focused on improving this so I don't get hungry so easily. And then I'm going to jump down here to fortitude so my avatar can withstand the hot or the cold better. Now notice the short amount of time we were in here, it's already gotten dark. Now, normally players will try to make a torch if they have the experience to know to do that. And let's see, we'll do the eye thing again. So that bird can hit us about at level 1 at the default level about a dozen times, maybe more, before it can kill us. So there's really no reason to fight against those birds for now. The thing that we're going to be concerned with first is our hunger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my first investment here in hunger, and I'm going to increase this number, but it's going to bring this down some more. So we want to pick some berries first. Now, our first problem is we can't see squat, so I'm going to give you an advanced tip right now. Press your tab key, and you look at the bottom of the screen, especially on the left-hand side. You see that little arrow and underline? Type in the word gamma, G-A-M-M-A, and hit your spacebar once. Now put the number 4 or 5 in there, and then press enter. Now I used 5, and that's the maximum that I could get. You might call it strong moonlight, so I could see things better. Now my next problem is I want to run over here, or I should say jog over here, because running is a lot faster. And just look down and just hold my E key. And keep holding it until he stops picking stuff up. And then we could turn using our mouse. Just move your mouse around. You see that green spike in there? That's where I died the first time. Alright, so press our I key like in inventory. And you see these berries right here? Notice that we're still getting real hungry. Well, put your cursor on it and hold down your E key until all those berries are gone. Now, I didn't do this one because once these are gone, it'll automatically jump over and start consuming these unless you let go of your E key. If you do the last slot, it will eat those and stop. There's not going to be any more berries to eat. You'll also notice we're still at the default value, but this number is going up. We're digesting. And you can kind of see that down here at the lower right. See where it shows like a stake symbol and an up symbol? That means that what we ate is having an effect. Now that's going to change. Now you see what that bird just did? So let's eat these right quick. because we want to bring our symbol back. Now, as long as that symbol's there, then this is going to be moving back to the right. Now, there's nothing for the bird to eat, so there's nothing for it to steal. But we are cold. We are being affected by the cold. And what that does is that affects this bottom right-hand number. Well, it's a plus sign. It's not really a number. And what happens is the top of this will slowly but surely drain away. Each time we take some damage here. That's what that symbol represents. So the first investment I'm going to make is right down here. Fortitude. Boom. And that gives me an automatic 2 from 0. Now that means that my health is not going to be affected by the cold very much. Now there is another symbol that'll come up, and I call it the ice cube of death. It looks like a melting ice cube on top of a splotch of red. And I guess the red is the melting part of the ice cube. Now that's probably going to happen if I get in the water. So let's go up here and get in the water and see if that ice cube of death shows. Not too deep now, not too deep. Yep, there it is, the ice cube of death. That will, if I don't get out of this water in a timely manner, I'll push the I key right quick so the, oh, something just hit me. Dang, piranhas over here too? Boy, those guys are vicious, aren't they? Well, anyway, let me push the I key again. Look right here at my health. See there? I took a big hit, and the top half of that plus sign has already disappeared. Now, as long as the ice cube of death shows, that's going to keep sinking. And then my avatar will just die. And I'll have to respawn somewhere else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this here, Fortitude again. And the ice cube of death goes away. And what that's telling you is that now I'm not affected by the hot or the cold extreme temperatures. And it jumped up to 4. And I've only invested in this twice. Now the other thing that's happening, you'll notice that this number is increasing. It maxes out at 100 since I haven't made any investments there. And I still have 4 points I can invest. So now I have to decide, do I want to slow down my hunger? And I'm going to say, of course, yes. So I'll click once and see how it jumped. So now I need to go get some more berries. Otherwise, my health will stop improving. All right, so let's go over to any of these tall bushes, get kind of in the middle, look down, and hold down the E key until he stops picking up. Now press your I like in inventory again. Put your cursor on there, hold down your E key until they're all gone. Now I've got a higher maximum amount of, instead of 100, it's 110. And this will slowly but surely increase as long as you see this symbol here. See, that's satisfying our hunger. Now once that goes away, then I have to pick some more berries. So what I'll do is I'll just move up a little bit to this plant, look down, hold my E key. All right, he's done. Now let's go back into the inventory. Oh, wait a minute. We do not want to eat those. They will help with our food situation, but they're going to make us extremely thirsty. Well, since it's raining, I'll hit it just once. Rain automatically satisfies your thirst. Let's hit it again. Now, do you see the number increasing over here? See, it's not that much of an increase. We'll hit it again. Oh, the rain stopped. Now it's going to start affecting our hunger. Our thirst. We'll hit it again. See, it has a huge effect. You can kill your avatar pretty quick and easy this way by just draining him down until he's fully dehydrated. See, it has a huge impact on your thirst, but it doesn't have much of an impact on your hunger. So we'll pick some more berries. Let's see, one of the taller plants. There we go. Look down, hold down a E key. Okay, that's it. Back to this time we got some edible berries. Now these are also your best berries for taming dinosaurs. We just ate all of them by holding down the E key. And as long as this is here, you're going to see this number creep up until it gets to the maximum. Alright, let's do that one more time. Because this is the first way the game will try to kill you. Alright, so this time we got a little bit of both. Plus we got some seeds. Now, like I was going to say, you normally want to hold the cursor here, but let me demonstrate what happens if you hold the cursor here. And then you press or hold your E key like an echo. See how it keeps eating anything that's to the right of it? Alright, so this symbol is going to last a little bit longer because we ate quite a bit more. And you're going to see this number keep creeping up. Now, I know that hunger is going to be a problem in this game, so I'm going to give another investment right here by just clicking on it. Now notice it did not take me into this option yet, even though I've got 32 points. It's because I haven't made this 0 yet. Now once I do make 2 more investments in 0, it'll automatically pop me over here to the engrams, so I must be ready to learn a skill. That's what these engrams are. I'll go ahead and show you that while we're talking about it. I'll left click on it with the mouse. Alright, these are the things you can learn to do. These are all called skills. But the only 2 I need right now is hatchet, double click, or you could just click once here and then come down here to this long bar and click on it where it says learn spear, engram, and how much it's going to cost you. That's the 2 basic ways that you can invest. Now, at some point, I'm going to need to invest in a campfire, even though there's a possibility I could pick one up since I'm more than level 3 now. But it'd have to be a white supply drop. Now, if this is your first game, you're not going to have any idea what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'll go back up here and get out of this and click on this. That gets us back into our normal screen. Now, all that food I ate, see, we still got the symbol, so we're still filling up. It's slow process unless you're eating meat, cooked meat. And we don't have any cooked meat yet. So I need to take my first tool and either double click on it with the mouse or hold the left click and then drag it down and release it. Now I have a tendency to always put stuff in certain spots. If you double click, that's where it's going to go, the first open spot. Primarily because of what they call muscle memory. You start to remember where things are. So you don't have to do it and look down here to see where something is. I'm going to do like I did before, give it the X name. There we go. And now we'll have our little companion that really doesn't do anything. It's got these buggy little eyes. Kind of a cute / ugly little critter. But there you go. That's what it looks like. Alright, now I'm going to push the I like an indigo, Idaho. The only thing we really need right now is we need some more water. Now remember, we got to be careful. We don't want to get in very deep. If we get in ankle deep, that's fine. Alright, I don't see your rocks. We press the E key like an echo for just a second. And let go. And we have ourselves a drink. Now if I look at the I key, I'm fully satisfied. I'm not thirsty anymore. Alright, we want to put our first tool in operation. So we'll go up to the rock. We'll press the number 1 key on the keyboard. Bingo. Since we had something in that number 1 slot, see down there at the bottom? In the center of the screen, more or less, all the way to the left of that heads-up display, those what they call your active inventory. Now we've got our pick. So I'll press the left mouse button once and let go. Boom. Do it again. Whoa. And look at all that flint we just picked up. So now if we look, we got flint. Now you say, okay, so I got flint. Big deal. Well, actually, it is a big deal. You go up here, and since we paid for the engram, we now know how to make these. So we can do a double click. Like I said before, it'll make one. And if we go back over here to our inventory, we'll see we've got one in there. We have to have one of these, and I think it's what, 3 or 4 of these? Well, I can show you that. So I'm going to double click and see what it did. It went into the next open slot. All right, let's go back to Crafty for a second. Now make sure this is lit. As long as it's lit, you can get this information. You see there, it tells me the first number is how many I have in my inventory. The second number is how many I need to make this item. So we needed 1 flint, we needed 10 thatch, and we needed 1 wood to make one. Now, the same thing is going to happen when you need to repair it. After you've used it up, broke it. Now notice that we're getting hungry and thirsty again. But the thirst meter is going over faster than the hunger meter. We've made an investment here, but not here. So let's go ahead and make one in here. Now see how it pops over automatically? That's because the number here now is higher. So let's go over to our water source again. Oh, he just put this in there, didn't he? Ankle deep is good enough. Now there's no rocks. It's not forcing us to put away our tool. It will sometimes force you to put away your tool before you can press the E key for a second and get a drink. Alright, so we don't have any food in our inventory. Our thirst is underwater, is now satisfied. We can carry this much weight, which is not very much at all, still on default. And you can see from our inventory. Now, this thing about the skins, left click and drag it down and see how it lit up and then release. Now our tool looks different. This is just what they call skinning. Now if we want to skin our avatar so it looks naked, we have to be able to make clothing for it. Now I normally don't invest in this. And I try not to invest in any of these, but it's going to force me to invest in some of this stuff later. I have to go to the Scorched Earth map, or you might call it the Scorched Earth ARK, in order to learn these two. And right now they're not important to me. This one I have to go to Genesis to learn, but because of my current level, I'm now level 6, I could also invest in these. They're not important to me just yet. So I'm not going to invest in any of those. I'm just going to hang on to those points. Now I press the number 1 key on my keyboard and he puts away the tool. It's kind of like a toggle. You push the 1 key, brings it up, push it again, he puts it away. And then since I have something in the second slot, the same thing happens. See there? My hatchet. Now they don't call them axes in this game, so it's kind of a European thing. Now we've put away our tools. This is a safe dinosaur. This is often one that people tame right away. Or one of the birds. This one's easier to tame. It just takes some berries. But you gotta knock it out first. Now, if I punch it, watch what happens. It complains and it runs away. And you can try to chase it down, but you're not going to have any luck. See there? They're faster than you are. Oh, wow. These were just put up a very short time ago. Because they have an auto decay. As you can see, that demolish in. So that would be seconds, minutes, and hours. So all of this can be removed in that short amount of time. How about this one? Is it the same deal? Oh, no. See, it's got seconds, minutes, hours, and days. So it's going to be here for a while, at least 3 days. Now, I think, but don't hold me to it, I think that's actual calendar days, but it might be game days. It's kind of hard to tell, or it might be a compromise between. It's kind of hard to say. But you don't need any tools to demolish, you just got to be there. Okay. Highly experienced player hogging up a spawn point. So if you die and you spawn, you could very well end up inside this guy's building. Yeah, he's definitely experienced. He's already got Bola. That's how he tamed that raptor. And this is one of the problems with Thatch. That might be him right there. See how the animal's sinking? Well, your avatar will do that too. Oh, he's a good little collector of berries and fiber and stuff, and he's a real good collector of mostly berries and wood and thatch. Let's see. What is... Oh, he's got a... Is that the one we just punched? What level is it? No, that's not the same one. That one's only level 4. Man, look at all these storage units he's put in already. That seems kind of weird to do it that way. But I guess they got more hit points. Yeah, 2,400. This one's already been damaged a little bit. It's down to 2061. That would suggest a dinosaur did that. 2061, 24. That one hasn't been damaged yet. Tribe of Job? Or is he going to pronounce it Job? Well, anyway, the birds are fishing. The fog is moving in. And, of course, we're probably going to be attacked. Yeah. Whoa, flew right through me. Huh. The game that will pester the snot out of you. So, be prepared for that. And this has been here. Oh, it's got full... What would you call it? Non-decay option. All of it should be the same. So none of this will be available for demolition. So you can clean a spot and take over for seconds, minutes, hours, and 3 days plus. Almost 4 days. So that's pretty close to what the maximum time is for thatch. That's part of the reason why I don't build anything out of thatch. Well, the fog has moved in, so we're not going to be able to see too much. And from the looks of things, of course, I'm not very close. I have to get close to stuff before I can actually see it. Yeah, there's a lot of things I can't see yet. Well, we're going to call this good for now, since this recording is probably starting to get a little bit long. Can you hear that music? Oh, I guess the bird changed its mind. That just means they're going to attack you. Or something is going to attack you. Okay, until next time.